Eggs. Mysterious. Unusual. Suspenseful. Pure. Complex. Egg. Why don't my eggs ever look that dramatic? I mean, look at that. Sheer perfection. Eggs can take many forms, and you may choose your preference carefully, from a bit of light scrambling to a more serious poaching affair, with added decadence of sea salt and cracked black pepper, if you wish. You may like to embark on hardening your eggs, or adding a bit of cheeky cheese, if you will. And for the ultimate adventure, you may wish to go full pickle. But we're not talking about eating eggs today. We are talking about games of egg. I'm going to be whisking my way through a complete egg mixture of gaming systems, ensuring no eggs are left unturned. It's time to be brave. It's time to be ready to see if the ultimate games of egg can be found. Chuckie Egg for me brings back some very warming childhood memories of being sat at the helm of my BBC Micro, waiting for this game to load, in eager anticipation of controlling a small chap who could climb up ladders and collect eggs before the timer reached 0. As this was practically the only game my parents could afford at the time, I spent countless hours honing my egg collecting skills on this absolute classic. I have since found out that this game was written by a chap who was only 16, which makes me feel incredibly old, but incredibly blessed that this game was invented, as like your favourite blanket, this game makes me feel incredibly warm. However, what on earth is that dreadful noise every time you jump? Don't recall it being that bad on the BBC Micro. I appear to have missed the adventures of Charlie's excellent adventures the first time round on PlayStation, so this is a perfect opportunity to revisit this rather unusual egg-based curiosity, where you are a night watchman working in a steel factory, and you must walk about a bit trying to find keys and shut down the factory. Seems fairly harmless, and it's of the age where everything had to be in 3D, which can cause some mild confusion at times and many perilous falls to your scrambled doom. More confusingly known as Hello Charlie in Japan, which doesn't quite have the same ring to it, and would also preclude you from purchasing said adventure on initial glance, if you were only basing your purchases on specific egg-based gaming titles. I prefer Eggs of Steel by far, as it conjures up images of impenetrable eggs with a shiny yet solid construct that would make even Arnold Schwarzenegger proud to own a pair of steel eggs stashed away in his pocket for later deployment. It's an enjoyable enough romp if you like this sort of thing, and Charlie is quite a likeable man of egg. Oh, I've scrambled myself yet again. Where am I supposed to be going? Okay, I've got my tool. If you look at the cover of this unusual game, you will notice what appears to be a small girl at the helm of a dragon. That's all you need to know really to get stuck into this rather unusual platformer. There's some waffle about dragon masters and dragons becoming extinct, save for one egg that must be hatched to save all of eternity. But this is the perfect excuse to make a rather vibrant platforming adventure, starring you, as you jump about a bit, hitting enemies with your egg and eventually making it hatch, so you can ride your own dragon, just like the box indicates. You can even enter shops and upgrade your weaponry and health. Looks nice, looks simple, and I am all for simple games. Ooh, an enchanted woodland level. And why are those goblins wearing American football helmets? Very curious. Mind you, I've played this game for longer than 5 minutes 20 seconds, which is a good sign in my book. If I had to describe this game in 2 words, I would say pleasant egg. Not really a game, but merely a curiosity I found whilst undertaking my critical egg research. All someone has done here is reskinned Sonic the Hedgehog with the evil Eggman. These games are known as hacks, but look at this. Can't even collect any coins, can't get any damage. It's... oh well, that says it all. I've got myself stuck on the background. Get rid of it. Pac-Man with eggs. I'll say that again. Pac-Man, but with eggs. Does this really work as a game? Well, you have to ask yourself 2 vital questions really. Do you like Pac-Man? And do you like eggs? If the answer is yes to both of these questions, you might have some fun with this rather interesting arcade blast. The added twist here is that you have to shoot the eggs whilst being chased by massive vultures, so it's not as relaxed or as simple as Pac-Man, but a welcome variation on our classic. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but I'm having quite a lot of fun with this chap, and shooting lots of things. I would say that this is worth 10 or 20 pence of anyone's money, if you were back in the arcades, but we're not, so this is readily emulated on MAME. Keen and experienced gamers will instantly note that this game bears an incredible resemblance to countless puzzle games that have gone before it, such as Columns and Puyo Pop. Those familiar with those game mechanics will soon slip into Egghunt with ease, as you move and rotate your shiny colourful eggs into matching patterns to ensure to add egg-based pressure to your opponent in what could be described as the best egg puzzle game of 1995. And also I noticed that this game has some quite groovy music to it. So if you have got a carefully controlled room with adequate speakers, I would advise you to raise the volume for this game and you will not be disappointed. Game & Watches were precursors to the undeniable portable classic, the Game Boy, and I was delighted to discover that an egg-based game was hiding in plain sight on this platform. No messing with the title, simply egg. What can you expect from Egg? Well, it's a Game & Watch, so you cannot expect too much. But considering the age of this game, it is mildly fun, as you control a wolf who must catch chicken eggs, sliding down small ramps. Each egg gives you a point, and as expected, the game just speeds up and up until you can bear it no more, and you drop too many eggs. Nintendo were obviously not content in just providing egg-based merriment for you controlling a wolf. They actually went and acquired a Disney license and released an identical version of this game, but just rebadged it as a Mickey Mouse game. They clearly wanted people to make important, analytical decisions about whether they wished to control a wolf or a mouse as a vehicle to ensure efficient capturing of eggs. I know where I stand though, and I'm happy to report that I played this game for longer than 9 minutes, which in this day of age, of high gloss, shiny car racing games, and 200 hours of endless quests for lost rings, I would consider that quite an achievement, as it engaged me fully in my egg capturing responsibilities as a lone wolf. As you would expect from a vintage Game & Watch title such as this, it is picking up particular value on the secondary markets, but who can put a price on fun and eggs? What game of egg collection would be complete without discussing the fantastical world of Dizzy, a stone-cold Codemasters classic series that spans many enjoyable games across many enjoyable platforms. And for today's game, we focus on the Sega Genesis. There is yet more discussions about evil wizards and poor Dizzy's girlfriend being kidnapped, so it's up to you to rescue her from a castle that's floating about in the clouds. This conversion seems pleasant enough for Sega's box of tricks, and with some 16-bit grunt behind it, you are treated to some very nice colours and scrolling. Is it a platform game, or is it an adventure game? Well, I think it's a bit of both really. You have to put your thinking cap on now and again and solve lots of puzzles, but then sometimes all you have to do is walk about a bit and climb ladders and just have fun jumping on things. You can carry objects, and certain things need to be accessed to give you further entry into more screens. What can be more pleasant than having a small cup of tea and a biscuit on a Sunday morning and settling down to this unarguable classic game of egg that is destined to put a real smile on your face for many, 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 many days. Our second maze and egg based game, Scrambled Egg. The same rules apply. If you like Pac-Man, you will probably like this game. But instead of eating or shooting eggs, this time round you have to kick your eggs into walls so they smash and reveal little chickens that you then must ensure are suitably booted off your screen. It's an interesting idea, and one that I am not too offended by. I would question how long this game is likely to last, and if you are likely to remember it after a couple of goes. But then what's the harm in doing some light digital chicken kicking in the comfort of your own home? Oh, this music is enough to drive anyone temporarily insane. Ah, I've been killed again by a pair of yellow legs. Game over. This game promised to be an exciting adventure, a target shooting video game. Yes, you heard me right, a target shooting game. You have to protect your eggs. Why do you have to protect your eggs? Because creatures want to steal them from you, so you must shoot them to stop them from doing this. And I like it. Nice and simple, rinse and repeat till you can take it no more and have fulfilled your egg shooting enjoyment for the day. Controls are a little clunky, but remember I am playing this on an Atari 7800 and on an emulated device. You could get a light gun back in the day for the 7800 called the seriously sounding EGGY light gun. But for the purposes of this review, I am having to use an emulated stick of joy and painstakingly move the crosshair to where I wish to exterminate the egg stealing baddies. To break up the dreary monotony, there are some interesting cutscene levels for target practice, as can be seen here. What are those supposed to be? Butterfly? What? Who on earth are they? Looks like a little yellow monkey. Oh, I think those are rats. What are they dropping? Pellets? I have no idea what's going on now. No idea. But we appear to be on 42nd Street. That's useful information to know. Now what's happening? What's that mean? Oh, I'm back in the tree. Back defending my eggs. Oh my word. What on earth has been unleashed here? And what is this music? Enough to drive a sane person to the edge of their egg tolerance. Eggs fall from the top of the screen and you have to catch them. There's not a lot more I can say about this game. It's simple, it's bland, and I may let you be the judge of this game by watching me play it for your consideration. I'm not sure how much more I can take of this music. This is the most intensely grating music I've possibly ever heard in my entire life. Oh, I'm getting the hang of this a bit though. It's just, oh yeah, go, 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 go. Yep, come on. No, yep. I'm really getting the hang of this now. I'm defeating the game on the 2600. Hey? Oh no, oh, now I've got to shoot the chicken above. Well, what's the point? Ah, haha! He's dead. Oh no, back again. Back to catching the eggs again. Maybe a game like this could be utilised as some sort of torture device. Strap someone in a dark room, give them a pad, and let them play this until their head explodes. That might do the trick. I'm definitely getting the hang of this though. Possibly good for your reflexes, but not good for your mind. I think I'm going to have to conclude that this game is abysmal. Well, with a stone cold classic of Chuckie Egg to live up to, can it be that difficult to produce a world-beating extravaganza that builds and hones carefully to perfection, learning from the lessons of the original classic to give us a full-on, better and improved sequel. Yes, I think it can be that difficult, because first impressions of this game have left me crying into my scrambled eggs, and near shattering my lovely warm feelings of the original. For a start, the creators of Chuckie Egg 2 have decided to throw away the blueprint for what makes a classic game and just create something completely different. Gone are the classic ladder and egg levels. This game has now turned into a pre-Rick Dangerous era of you just wandering about through various confusing screens, trying to avoid odd creatures and add an element of exploration to your man of egg. It's a completely different shift and a totally different feel. How does it feel? It feels terrible. This is no longer a classic action arcade game. This is a miserable and lonesome wandering about game of egg misery. I used to think my good friend loved pickled eggs, but then I found out he didn't. He also loved the game Civilization. Thankfully, he still does love the game Civilization. And if you asked me yesterday if there was a game that combined Civilization and eggs, I would have told you that you were experiencing some temporary setback within your memory, and that you would be required to sit in a small dark room and think about things for a short time. However, that was yesterday, and today is today. And to my utter amazement, I can confirm that there is a game that combines eggs and strategy. And that game is Egg on the Sony Playstation. This game was only ever released in Japan, which may explain why I hadn't initially come across this game, and this could make for some additional challenges in understanding what on earth is going on. This is high concept game making at its finest. Eggs and strategy. Let's do this. This game was released in 1998, and I struggled to find much more about this game, so it's up to me today to do my best in highlighting to you how a game of eggs and strategy can or cannot work. This could be the biggest challenge of my entire life. I'll do my best to explain. We may have some difficulties along the way, but we're going into this together. I think the main premise of this game is that you choose a nominated coloured egg of your choice, and then you take it in turns to set the destination and speed of your egg, to then roll it across a flat panel of ground to then help you grow your own city and increase your powers of egg, so that you can be the ruler of Eggdom and crack your opponents into a large gooey mess and emerge triumphant from your ongoing battles and be the true ruler of Egg. It sounds good, it looks good, and I would encourage you to track this curiosity down and invite a friend over so you can have the ultimate battle of Egg. And it always helps to have a friend to oversee your strategic elements whilst you concentrate on the battle in hand. You can even compete with up to 3 computer-controlled eggs. The manufacturer's description is bold and important. and I will now read this to you, so you can be fully informed of your egg responsibilities. But I'm a simple, profound, full games for light users. Although not as flashy, get length play instead. Competition is hot doctor. Can be played simultaneously from 1 up to 4 people. Mission mode, which is described with easy to understand system of egg. The fun. Eggs meet doom on your portable communications unit. Select suitable weapon and enter the egg-based frenzy. It's a multiplayer mayhem affair, and for the entire duration of the game I was playing, I could not work out how to fire my gun. Maybe my fingers are just too big to deftly control a spherical man with an Uzi. Or maybe I was just too panicked to find myself with 15 other professionally trained egg marksmen who were eager to fry me the minute I stepped foot in this golden temple, which I am thinking looks suspiciously a little bit similar to the temple level on James Bond GoldenEye for the N64. There is an awful lot going on with this game, so I am not convinced that a tiny phone screen is the best product to play this on, but I can see the merits of maybe playing this on an iPad. However, I feel I am too old for this kind of frenetic egg action, as I just keep getting shot instantly. I had best find something a little more sedate. A slow boil rather than a quick fry. Now somehow Billy Hatcher and the giant egg for the Nintendo Gamecube passed me by back in the day. I had no recollection of this game until my good friend popped it on his Gamecube and we played it one evening. And I must say, I had an awful lot of fun with it. You have to control little Billy, and I think you have to get lots of eggs back to lots of different places. But I wasn't too bothered with the plot. I just liked to run around and find eggs and roll them about a bit. That was enough fun for me, and I was getting rather good by the end of the evening. It is a nice game full of nice graphics, and as you would expect from the Nintendo Gamecube, it does look particularly nice, and the controls also feel quite user-friendly. There were times where I did not quite know what was going on, but I just turned around, went to find another egg, and just rolled it about a bit. So that's good enough for me. But yes, an undiscovered classic. I would suggest that if you can get hold of this game, then you must do so, because it is very unusual, it's very quirky, and you get to roll lots of eggs about. What more can be said about that? That has been Games of Egg. And what did we learn? We learnt that there are lots of eggs and there are lots of games, and sometimes there are games of egg. But what about the future of eggs and egg-based gaming? Well, there may still need to be some additional explorations into the dark and mysterious world of egg-themed multi-system adventures. I anticipate more egg-citing adventures to be had, but for now, I will leave you exactly where we started, for I am feeling hungry. And I could do with some pure food, but there has been a profound error of judgment. I've run out of eggs.